Class is in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and TradeFly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. Bitcoin dropping over 8% overnight. Ethereum taking about a 10% dip. Guys, is this a crash or is this opportunity? We're going to be looking at that, finding out why we're seeing these dips today, and talking about this massive market crash that has completely wrecked my portfolio, and my wife has to take her diamond ring back. Guys, it's time. Class is in session. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I am Army Piper. We come at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. But I don't do this show by myself. I have amazing co-hosts that help me get through this day of my massive market crash of 8%. Guys, let's go ahead and bring them up. It's TradeFly and the OC Guy. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man? I'm alive. I'm back. I'm feeling good. Got a little
You're
rest.
Good.
Yeah.
Hangover's
I'm
gone.
ready to
That's
go.
good.
Let's do this. And I smell opportunity in the air, baby. Let's go.
Can you smell what the crypto's cooking? It's called opportunity. I'm going to have that on my plate right next to that Mexican spaghetti. So
that's sweet flow, man.
I know it's not
Damn, I love your flow.
That is legendary aviation coffee, I bet.
It is. It is. This Legendary Aviation Coffee is the sponsor of today's show. If you want bougie coffee and you don't like bitter coffee, check out the link below. If you do like bitter coffee, don't check out the link below and enjoy your sucky coffee, because Legendary Aviation. That's why. What's up, guys? How you been? Markets are dumping, man. And I think it's beautiful because we're going to see all these levels today. We're going to be looking at all the levels today. Guys, this is what we broke. This is what we're looking for. We even got an article on it, and we're going to talk a little bit about Grayscale. They may have had like a record daily outflow, meaning they sold more Bitcoin to yesterday overnight than ever. So we're going to be looking at that too. Bad, sad. Guys, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit that. I know we're just a few minutes into the show. You got to see me cry and break down on camera. But hey. It's okay. It's okay. It's not as bad as everyone thinks. Just take a deep breath, and we're going to show you guys why. Let's go ahead and jump into the news. Unless, OC, you got anything for the people, man? We talked about your Mexican spaghetti, but okay, cool.
Say what's up to some people in the chat.
Your charts are okay? Yeah, some people in the chat. He's dropping in.
Let's say what's up.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Mexican spaghetti that I had today on the head, and also, we were talking about maybe changing aliases. Maybe I'll do one last minute OC or something.
Last minute OC. Yeah. TradeFly. What was your new name going to be?
Oh, I was thinking about going with Broke Boy Crypto.
Broke Boy Crypto. I love it. Guys, put a one down in the chat if you think that TradeFly should change his name to Broke Boy Crypto. Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. It's always a beach day for Piper. I'm on the beach. Like, I'm literally looking right there. There's a cruise ship coming in. There's waves on the ocean. My wife went swimming already. She's down there swimming at the pool. And then we're going over today to Margaritaville. We're going to hang out over there for a bit. And then we're going to go out on a catamaran this evening for a sunset champagne cruise on a catamaran. So, beach life for the next 10 days.
Your wife
9 days
is
now.
Not swimming alone. She is not.
No, my wife is not swimming alone. No, she walked down from our room to the pool, and as she was walking, a duck came out of the little brush there, the jungle here on the island, and followed her. And then she got into the pool, and the duck decided to jump into the pool too. He's like, "That looks refreshing. Let me go for a morning swim." So, yes, my wife went swimming this morning in a pool with a duck. So, let's get into the news, guys. Let's jump over there and take a look at the news. We are looking right now at the Fear and Greed Index, and I don't know why. TradeFly and I were talking about this earlier today. Yesterday, Fear and greed was 77. Today it's 79. So it's even higher on the greed side, despite the pullback in price. So I'm expecting that we will likely see this pullback later in the day and into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look at that pullback. Guys, looking at the daily here on the crypto bubbles, you can see WIF down 19.8%, Jupiter down 21%, PYTH down 14%, Hex sucks, down 16.4%, Bonk down 14.8%, Theta down 15.7%. Aptos up 7.4. Got a little green there, a little green on stacks. So my stacks bag maybe being like the fingertips holding me on the edge there of my wallet collapse. Up 5.3%. Let's go and take a look at Bitcoin though. On the daily, down right now 6.5% for Bitcoin, down 7.5% on Ethereum. Solana down a whopping 11.3%. Still up though, 20.8% for the week. So had a lot of gains, and it's going to have to fight back there. Let's see here. What else we got? BNB down 6.5. Any other big ones here? Avalanche, Doge, Shiba Inu all in the 7s and 8s. Near Protocol down 10%. So
Aptos.
Not horrible overall. Yeah, Aptos, man. I'm telling you, Aptos was looking pretty good there. 7.4%, up 1.4 on the hour, still up 19.5 for the week.
Those are the ones you want to look for. That's why these are important, because
Yeah.
you want to see what is inverse to the trend. So that's
correct,
a good
because
sign
that
for
might
Aptos.
be that. Absolutely, man. Let's go ahead and jump over and check out the liquidations, guys. Give it a little fresh here. Let's get fresh with it. Let's see. We've had in the past 24 hours 240,792 traders liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at a cool $654 million. Largest single liquidation, it was on OKX. It was Bitcoin. It was 12.25 million. So ouch, big ouches. Guys, what did I have
He's
here?
taking
I had
the ring
something
back.
here. Oh yeah, I'm taking the ring back.
Yeah, that guy is.
I wanted to show this. I thought this was so funny when I saw this morning, guys. Here is $63,000 Bitcoin in early March 2024. Here is $63,000 Bitcoin in mid-March 2024. So that's how a lot of people in the market are acting right now. And then I do want to talk about this before we come out and we talk, because guys, tomorrow, the big reason for all of this is this thing right here. It is the FOMC. It is tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. They're going to put out the Fed interest rates. When they put that data out, about a half an hour later, this guy, you may have heard of him, called Jerome Powell, he's going to come out and speak about what the Fed Reserve thinks and feels, their sentiment. And there's going to be some tone that's either hawkish or dovish. That news will totally move the markets completely, more than the interest rates, because we pretty much know right now, 99% chance of a pause. No increase, no decrease. Interestingly enough, though, you guys have been watching the show. If you are alumni, you know that we've been talking about the PPI and CPI has been moving up, meaning that inflation is returning. It's rearing its ugly head, right? Elizabeth Warren and other Democratic senators, in a letter to Fed Jerome Powell, urged him to cut interest rates. Let's go to TriCam. I want to talk about this for a second, because this might possibly be the dumbest person on earth sitting in that seat, making a lot of taxpayer money and doing a lot of insider trading. What would that mean for a Fed rate cut while inflation is raising back up again? TradeFly, we'll go with you. Let's see. It's a pop quiz in class today, kids.
Yeah, so it's going to be bad news for the market. That's what it ultimately comes down to. So I guess what I would need to understand is, what is the interest there, and why do they want to bring the interest rates back? Because there could be kind of an ulterior motive, right? They may not be thinking about stocks itself. Maybe she's not heavily invested in stocks. Maybe she wants to go real estate, because a lot of people that are very wealthy are more into the real estate side of the house, which is not looking all that great right now, while stocks have just kind of continued to climb. And maybe there could be a pivot, right? The stocks in the market are very, very high. We talked about the S&P, we talked about the NASDAQ. All of those are, I'm not going to say at all-time highs, but they've just hit all-time highs. So maybe we now see this transfer from one investment opportunity to another. So, it'd be bad news for those that like to invest, but that's also why you should probably have a diverse portfolio if you have that opportunity.
Right. Absolutely, man. And that's the big thing too. Another factor on that is that you have to look at the if we already have interest rates, inflation, coming back, and PPI, CPI, everything's going up. If you cut the rates, that means that people get loans for cheaper. That means that people can buy more. The buying more will also raise the inflation higher. You want to get America back to 9% interest or inflation, cut the rates too soon and see what happens. And that, you can go back to my screen real fast because I want to show this. That is how you get into situations like this here. Guys, this is Canada, but it's relevant because, Canada and U.S. have a lot of similar things in their economies. Canadian bankruptcy filings have skyrocketed with nearly 800 bankruptcy filings in January 2024 alone. This comes after bankruptcy filings in 2023 jumped 40% year over year. Currently, the number of businesses filing for insolvency is at its highest in 13 years. And small businesses account for 33% of Canada's GDP. Well, if you go down here and you look at those little comment that he says below, in both Canada and the U.S., government data continues to suggest that the economy is strong, but small businesses and many consumers are struggling. There seems to be a large disconnect between data and reality. If there was ever a picture that said disconnect between data and reality, it's right there. That's her. That is the disconnect between data and reality. You will have, thank you very much. You will have a lot of people filing for bankruptcy because they're going to be operating on more credit. And I don't think that the economy is ready for a correction yet. It's just not. We've got to keep the inflation on a downward trend across multiple sectors, not just food and energy and stuff like that.
I think one of the things that would be like a big consideration is the price of homes, the price of a mortgage. People are getting priced out right now. So that's another thing. Like, that's the balancing act that we're struggling with. Yeah, we can go to TradeFly, but it's just a quick input. It's mortgages right now are through the roof. The prices of homes, and then I'm looking my house right now, where I live. I'm priced out of my own home. I couldn't buy my home right now for what I bought it for in 2019. My mortgage would be $1,200 more a month. It's insane.
Right. So, well, another thing too is that we just recently had the NAR. For those that don't know, the National Association of Realtors. They just got hit. They got their peppy smacked because they were doing some shady shit. I'm going to go ahead and say it in the true form with commission rates, right? For realtor commissions, and so now it's been capped, I believe, at 3%. And you could have always negotiated, but there's that little negotiation you were really held to around that 6% line. Now, because of this, you will likely see more home sales increase because now people can feel like they can get a little bit more home because they're not paying so much out in those commission fees. So
it's really not. You're only coming maybe a couple bucks out of pocket a month. It's not.
But perception and sentiment will change for it. So you're going to have realtors that are going to be like, we can negotiate this and we can get you into a house because the only silver lining for a realtor to use with that new data out is to tell, I've always, me personally, I've always tried to keep a low commission rate, but now we can make sure that the seller is doing that also. We can get you into a much better house. There's a way to spin this for a realtor. So it's going to be interesting to see how that sentiment all plays out. But let's go ahead and get back over into the news. I want to wrap this up. We got to get into the charts today, guys. MicroStrategy just bought an additional 9,245 Bitcoin for $623 million. So shout out to Michael Saylor. He did not buy the top this time. MicroStrategies now owns over 1% of total Bitcoin supply, which is a lot. And if you guys want to know why it's going down, besides the FOMC, yes, it is moving all the markets. Stock market is down right now. I'm looking right here on the TV screen in front of me. S&P 500 is down. NASDAQ is down. Only thing that's moving up a little bit, and it's only by 0.15%, is the Dow Jones. So even stocks are pulling back today. It's not just crypto. But Grayscale GBTC spot Bitcoin ETF sees a record $642.5 million daily outflow. That is GBTC selling Bitcoin on top of FOMC news, which is why we're seeing such a massive flush out in crypto right now. So that's what I got there for that today. Let's go ahead.
Know.
What's that?
I said, I wonder if they know something we don't know.
Who knows? Maybe they do. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart here, guys. Look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to have TradeFly pull up that liquidation chart, guys. We're sitting right now at about $63,100. I told you guys to watch for that dynamic reactor yesterday. We came down. We got a little stop on it, and then it said, nah, hell no. We're punching through here, and down it goes. Ironically, came down and caught that delta line of the predictive ranges there. That's that blue line, our trade band. For those that do not know, is typically sitting right here. Let me get that tool. There we go. That is our delta median. That is our lower trade band. This is our upper trade band. So we are in the 50% mark of the trade band. If you look at where that lower trade band is coming in, it's going to be hitting right about that golden pocket. That's what we talked about yesterday, guys. I said if we lose this, I would be watching for the 0.66, $59,067. We'll just call it 59,000. Taking a look over here, we are losing on the Wallen chart. Shout out to Eric Wallen. We are losing the golden pocket here on the big high time frame here for the weekly charts. If you look here, we're losing that. I went ahead and threw a fixed range volume profile going all the way back to last cycle's parabolic pump up, guys. That value area high is coming in at about $43,800, guys. So, ouch, big ouch. So, let's go ahead and see what TradeFly has on his liquidation chart, and let's see how that's going.
Alrighty, so pulling up the liquidation heat map. I went ahead and zoomed out. I went to the monthly. Now, not a whole lot to talk about here except for a scary area, and that's going to be at about 50K. So about 50K, 50,500. There's an area of a lot of liquidity down here. Now, the only reason I'm pointing it out is because if you look at the chart, you're starting to see a reversal in trend, right? You're getting a series of lower highs, and unfortunately, we're kind of pulling back. So I want to point that area out to you. I'm not saying it's going to go there, but be on alert, all right? There is a lot of money sitting down here. I mean, look at that. Just that line alone is $1 billion. That's only one. So that's 50,250. But like as you like scroll kind of up and down, you can see it's probably multi-billions sitting just in this area right around 50,000. So if you don't think the maker wants that money, trust me, you're wrong. He does. So just be on alert. If we continue to press down, that's an area that one, you're going to probably look for a bounce, right? Because also you can even see it just on this chart alone. What is that right there? That's an area of support. All right. So in conjunction with an area of support, you're going to see an area that has a lot of liquidity. So don't be surprised if you see it come down. And then what you're going to see right here, if it does hit this area, it's not going to just bounce, right? You're probably going to see a wick because of that liquidity. All that money is coming out of the market very quickly. So you'll probably see a quick scam wick down, and then it'll come back up into this area. So just something for you to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Zach, go back to my chart. I want to give a shout out real fast. And shout out to Crypto Billy. Billy Goat Tails in the house right now. Guys, Gala Games with Jason Brink is the next Billy Goat Tails. It's going to be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jump over there, get that community intake in, get that knowledge, get that information. Jason Brink from Gala Games is going to be there talking us through on the next chapter, chapter 18 of Billy Goat Tails. So be there or be square. That's what I got there. Let's go ahead and jump over to your chart, OC, and you can show us what you're seeing on Bitcoin. And then let's get into some TA with the folks because I'm sure they've all got questions of what they want to see today. So.
Absolutely. A huge shout out to Goat here, Big Billy. Sorry, to Fred. Oh my God, the Crypto Boyo. Sorry,
Billy.
Yes. Yeah, he was telling me to take a look at XBT. Look at that. I think my screen just got scratched. That is a what? That is a 8,900 Bitcoin. So if you had a chance to buy it all the way down there, congratulations. I think the live stream is still up. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I saw it just getting stuck here. All right, so basically all the way down there, that is a scam week. So just be careful on that one. I mean, come on. I'll talk about this in a little farther ahead. But other than that, let's go to Bitcoin and see what else am I expecting. So the first area I'm expecting here is a 59, 800, basically couple of dead cat bounces or at least some movements. Yesterday we were at 789 on the consolidation score. Remember, we were expecting to break this little range, and we absolutely did it. We broke it, and we broke it for the negative. We have a strong signal here, so it's not about the breakout; it's about the retest. So I am expecting a possible pullback right when we're hitting here or right now. Some of those. So far, I believe that we still have a chance to make it all the way to 59. So be careful, strap on there because we could have a little bit more to go before the end of the day. So again, just be a little bit cautions there. Also, going all the way back down to 50, 51. That is my next big area. I'm going to be jumping in very, very hard on spotting here. But be careful again because FOMC data might be just like Piper is saying, just cutting rates. And basically, we could be jumping back into some loans to get some more Bitcoin for the retails. So just stay on that one. So I don't know if we're gonna get here. Hopefully we do because I do have a couple of big positions up there. Nonetheless, if we don't worry. Again, if you're not leveraged, you have nothing to worry about. It will be coming back up at some point. So turning it back to you guys.
Yeah, jump over to my chart real fast, and then we'll go to TradeFly ZTF. Thanks. So I got this article here it's talking about Bitcoin prices are plunging and why the crypto correction could have further to go. I was reading this morning, and I wanted to get this in before TradeFly pulls up his chart because he's our perma bear. So we got to get this for him. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, as we've talked about, they dropped. But the key point here is Bitcoin is down at its lowest level in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. The last 2 weeks. It's like America. We restored this historical building back to what it was in 1952. Like, oh, that's amazing. How'd you ever do that? Analyst broker at FX Pro said a close behind 65,500 would signal a move to a deeper level, a classic 61.8% retracement of the rally with a potential target near $60,000. TradeFly, go ahead and jump over to your chart and you tell us, are you seeing anything at that $60,000 level that makes you think, yeah, this could absolutely be where we come down to, or is it going to beat that level? Let's hear your take on it.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're just looking at the charts, and I got Bitcoin pulled up on the daily, there it is. Got the chemtrails coming across. Look, so when I bring that up, where does it pop? Right about 59K. And you can see this big wick coming off of it. That's a thing that I always look for. And I know some people don't really believe in the wicks, right? Because, that's just where price quickly moved off of. But what it indicates to me is that there was buying pressure, all right? Especially when you have a large wick off of an area, which is about 59K right here. However, I will say, I mean, there's definitely, look, you can see there's volume associated with that. But if we break that level, that's going to be kind of scary. I know that this is popping a little bit, but I got a lot less faith in this area right here. I think that if we break this area around 60K, then we are definitely going to come back down to where all that liquidity is, where we kind of talked about. And you can see right here, this blue line that I have, this is an alert, okay? So you can see that right there. I would recommend setting an alert there. Now, if you guys are DCAing in, or if you're looking at an opportunity, like you missed this big run up, why not just set an alert here? And this would be an area that you could get back into the game, right? And the reason is, look, you got support and resistance right here. So you can see you got a lot of volume as well. And then on the daily, what are we looking for? Well, you got the dynamic reactor, you got the 100-day moving average. As this moves right, so is the dynamic reactor and the moving averages. Now, if we keep moving down, though, what you're going to start seeing is this bend down. But I mean, it's still, I think it's going to make it into about the 50K area. We'll see, because I don't expect it to just be a straight shot down. You're probably going to see some kind of waves working its way down if it does pull back. So for me, this is an area of interest. This is an area, as a swing trader, I would be interested in getting back in. And there's no harm in setting yourself up for an opportunity there, even if it's weeks early. So why not? If it doesn't pull back, no big deal, right? So you had something there, but now you'll have to just find something else. So that's what I'd be looking for personally. All right, the 60K area. Maybe like that would be an area that I would look for price action off of. I think that you were definitely going to see some sort of bounce, right? And for me, that is I teach you that, like, that's one of my strategies. I look for a little like 2-3% move off of an area of support or an area of resistance. So I think you are likely to see that as you see this moving average continue to pull up as well. And I think I actually have an alert on that moving average. So that's actually the 50-day moving average, which I think is going to end up aligning here with the 60. But as you're looking at the prime oscillator, that's just pulling back right now. We'll see. I mean, we're at an area of support right now. You'd like to see this kind of hold up personally, because this was an area of resistance before we saw that big push through. So here you are, time now. But if we do pull back, again, these are big gaps here, right? You're at 63, then you're coming down to about 60. So like, these are opportunities, like I said, to find like little bounces. I'm not magic, so I'm not going to be able to predict that it's going to hold, but it's an opportunity to make a small trade, intraday kind of trade for me. But what you want to see if it does pull back is maybe multiple touch points, and then we actually get the flip of the ribbon. You see prime oscillator start going up and right. That would give you more confidence that this area is going to hold up.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump over to my chart real fast, and I'll show you what I'm seeing here on the 12-hour that I think is of interest. Is that $60,000 range that FX Pro was talking about? Again, that's the 0.66 here. We've got that lower trade band, and on the 12-hour, we've got the dynamic reactor coming into that window here very, very quickly and very soon, next 48 hours. So I would be interested. I think what it would be interesting to see is from our current level right now down to that range would be a move of about, let's see here. What is that? I can't even see that damn thing. 3%, I think it is. 8%. Another 8% move. So it's really small on that chart. I'm on a different computer than what I'm normally on. It's tiny. But yeah, that would put us down there. And that total move from the top guys, from the top peak here down into that range, would be about a 21% move. We've seen this in January where we had a 21% pullback before we launched off again. And that has typically been our pullbacks this cycle because of that buying pressure from the institutional money coming in from these ETFs. So I could see us coming down to that $59,000, $60,000 range easily, catching that golden pocket, catching that bottom trade band of the predictive ranges, hitting that dynamic reactor, giving us a nice accumulation. Because if you take a look at what we're seeing here right now, we do have the ribbon twist here on the 12-hour, bringing us down into that bullish zone. We're getting very cooled off on the RSI Prime. Both of these things are looking very healthy right now. And if we go to the 4-hour, something that we haven't had in a while that I'm very excited to see is that we got another oversold box coming in. The last time we had that was here, but we ended up creating divergences for lower lows. This might be an accumulation period, because if you go back before that, you can see here, last time we had it was all the way back here in January when we had the 21% retracement. So I think that this is looking pretty healthy for a bounce around that $59,000, $60,000 range that will give us that momentum, that reset of all of the oscillators, shake out a lot of those just degen leverage trades that are going on because they just don't want to see it. I want to touch real fast, go to TriCam real fast, and then TradeFly. You got anything on that before I discuss that that crazy wick that was asked about?
A couple things that I was looking at as you had your charts up. Two things. On the 12-hour chart, it's almost looking a little, oh, Jesus. There goes the freaking emojis. On the 12-hour chart, it was looking a little head and shoulderish. I don't know if you noticed that on the 12-hour.
Yeah.
But,
I've looked at that on the 12-hour, that little head and shoulders there.
Yeah.
There is one there. Absolutely. You can go back to my chart real fast, Zach, and I'll show people what he's talking about here. It's pretty much like that, where you've got your shoulder, you've got your head, and then you've got another shoulder. What would that be on a breakout? Let's see here. Let's grab that and let's go down to that. Yeah, that would put us right in the range of the dynamic reactor in the golden pocket. So that would put us all the way down to 56K though. But yeah,
And you know
Yeah.
what?
I want to talk about what's that?
Really quick, if you go to the back cycle, I mean back to your charts, if you just retrace to the previous cycle, we are right now also on the shoulders, on the previous head and shoulders that we had before the big drop down, all the way
Show
down
us.
to
You can
2 years ago.
show us on your chart in a second. It's hard to guide someone on target like that. We're not forest observers here for field artillery. So, I want to talk about that crazy wick that was. I think it was on Bitfinex. I think it was on that crazy wick. Crypto Pollo Cluck Cluck. Shout out to you, bro. He asked about that. A lot of times when you see that, that is because somebody did a big order with a fat finger, left a zero off, did it at like 7,000 instead of 70,000, or 10,000 instead of 100,000. A lot of times when you see that crazy wick, it is a market order that someone put in, and it just does a quick wick right back down there, closes it out, and wicks right back up instantly. That is why you get those, what they call scam wicks. It's more like imbecile wicks because someone did not check their data before they hit enter. So, yeah, so shout out to anybody that was on that exchange that had an order, a buy order down there, because it probably got picked up. Someone yesterday probably was able to pick up a little, at least a fraction of their order because it was so quick. It probably didn't stay there long enough for someone to actually process them all. But if they did, shout out to them. OC, let's go to your chart. You show us what you were talking about real fast on the head and shoulders, and then let's get into the altcoins. Guys, let us know in the chat what you'd like us to take a look at on the TA. We got 60 viewers right now, and you guys need to smash up those likes and put in the chat what you want to see. Let's get it.
Smash it.
Absolutely. If we take a look at this random topic here, we can say the head, a shoulder, head and shoulder, and we're basically right there. And also, if we kind of like take it the target, this is a little bit interesting of the possible head and shoulders. We could be looking forward to this area right here, what TradeFly was talking about, which is the shoulders of the other huge head and shoulders we have previously. So that is just basically something funny. I was looking at the charts, something that is kind of like a matching with the movement that we're having. Yeah, just wanted to bring it up as a funny thing, an interesting
Yeah,
tip.
that's
Interesting.
yeah,
No, I
that's
appreciate
not
it, man.
funny at
Appreciate
all. that's
We
that's not funny.
we do have a poll up right now. Also, it said, will we break 60K on this dip? Let us know. And right now, you guys can go and vote on that. So go hit that. We want to see what you guys think. TradeFly, let's kick it over to you, and you can start us off with your alt of choice. So,
All right, let me go ahead and pull up MATIC since we talk about that pretty much daily. Sorry, there was one more thing. Oh my God. Well, talk about not being ready for that. We lost the old dollar. Look at that. See, that's how you know it's a significant area. It broke down pretty hard, right? So we've been watching that dollar. We've been following that for, I'd say, since February. So there you go. It broke, but look where it found some support right there on the dynamic reactor along with the 100-day moving average. So you're always looking for some confluence. Now, I would have been kind of eyeing the neckline initially, but it didn't even find support there. It went just straight down to the dynamic reactor. So let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit here. Got a lot going on. But yeah, I mean, it's finding support. So that's good news. Let's go ahead and kind of scroll back left on the charts here, see what kind of lines up with this area. And that's wild. Like, it really didn't even find an area of a horizontal level of support. It really was just a dynamic reactor and the 100-day moving average. So pretty interesting. On the daily, let's look at the prime oscillator. Let's see what that wants to do. I mean, it's still 45 degrees down and right. Not the prettiest thing I've seen in a while for MATIC. So now what do we have to look for? Well, we got to look at that old mighty dollar, and that's probably going to be resistance for you. So you may see a pushback up for a retest. If you do get that retest and you start seeing signs of a continuation down and right, that could be pretty ugly for MATIC. We'll see if the dynamic reactor holds up. But what you don't want to see is kind of what you're seeing like on Bitcoin on the 4 hour. So I'm not going to revisit it, but it was one of my other points that I had for you, Piper, is that we are now on the bottom side of the dynamic reactor, which we haven't seen in a long time on the 4 hour for Bitcoin. And you're seeing the same thing here. Let me go ahead and turn off all of these. Same thing for MATIC. Dynamic reactor is now flipped red on the 4 hour. We haven't seen that for a while, right? It's been quite some time since we've seen that, over a month. And now look at this. It came up and actually retested the dynamic reactor and confirmed it is now resistant. So that's kind of your clear indicator that our pattern, our trend has now changed. This is dead, right? We got the retest on this one right here. It stayed in this channel, retested it. This is gone now. All right, we're out of that. And so once we got that retest, that's one thing that OC loves to preach to you guys. Look for the retest. Well, we got it. And then it broke down. And then it came the dynamic reactor. And again, it broke down. So not looking great for MATIC, honestly, but let's look on the 4 hours. So there is this wick right here. You could find, it looks like it's trying to find a little support there. We're also definitely getting into the oversold on the 4 hours. So maybe we find a little support in this area. That would be the hopes, but I will tell you, I don't have high hopes. So, I mean, it's just a wick, right? So just coming over, we got to really look, but like we're basically getting back into this area where I'm sure if you were to pull up a fixed range volume profile, you're going to see tons of volume in this area, and you're probably going to see the point of control somewhere in this area all the way back down. Unfortunately, it could come this far down to 83 cents. I mean, that's well within reason for it to pull back, and that's just where a lot of support and resistance is. It's kind of like the median of where I see a lot of price action. So, yeah, I'm hoping that it holds up, just based on some of the support and resistance that's in the zone time now, as long as with this wick. But, it's kind of hard to see. This is what we're waiting for right now on MATIC, and what you're probably going to see on a lot of the alts is you want to see that it holds up, it comes back down, you get a retest, and then you can look for that pattern to start going up and right. Not saying that that's what I'm anticipating, but you are overbought, and so you would like to see your RSI or your prime oscillator begin to go up and right as well. So multiple touch points in this area give you confirmation of support, RSI trending up and right. If you don't get that, it's the old TradeFly no-no zone, right? Because if you see RSI, start to bend down, see if I can get rid of this one for you here. All right,
The old
cool.
no-no zone.
Yeah, if you start seeing something like this where it starts bending down, then you're starting to get that trend that's going down and right, and I would expect that area to break down. So, that's what you want to look for. Personally, that's what I would be looking for. Okay, but right now, this is kind of a chillax moment, and just see how this plays out. I wouldn't buy right here just because of the trajectory, right? So, like, if we were having something that was a little bit softer and not this like very steep decline, like, okay, that's 27% in what, a couple days? Not even.
Yep.
Not even a couple. Yeah. No, okay. Yeah, it's a few days. All right, so you got a few days, and look at how harsh this is coming down. So not an area for me to be like, yes, like go in on something. Again, I want to see that multiple touches before I get comfortable with an area of support holding up. So not great for MATIC. Sorry.
No, it's not. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, celebrated his birthday yesterday. And if you guys went over there and wished him a happy birthday, thank you guys. We dropped in. The alumni were there to support him on his birthday, and hopefully he does something great today too, because it's the start of his new year. So let's go and check out. I got PYTH up here, so let's go check out PYTH. We had a request for that. What I'm seeing here, guys, is we had a drop here from the lower trade band. Just so you guys tracking right there, top trade band. There's a delta median, lower trade band of the predictive ranges from chart primes indicators. We have lost that, and we are now down what is typically I call the lower support. It's right now the lower resistance. We are stuck beneath it, cannot get above it. Every time we dip, it's getting bought up. There's a little fight going on here between the bears and the bulls. And right now, we have rejected off of it again. We are sitting right here above the dynamic reactor. I'd like to see this come back down on the 4 hour to this dynamic reactor and find support there. That would give me a little hopium on this. What I do want to show you guys, though, is if I throw on a fixed range volume profile and we get this going, you'll see some action going on here that is a little nerve-wracking. Guys, going back through the whole history of MEXC here with fixed range volume profiles, you'll see our value area high is sitting all the way down at 51.7 cents. That is a long way down from where we are right now at currently 90 cents. So I'm hoping that we find that support, like I said, on that dynamic reactor. If we go ahead, take a look at where we have some other areas here of interest. Let's go ahead and do this. We've got a little little volume node right here. Let's draw a little horizontal line right now, and that is literally where those wicks are hitting. So we got that going there, and then we can come over here and throw one on right there, and that is going to be the next big node that we have here before you get to that value area high. There is a nice little cluster here of volume on the fixed range volume profile that you can see here. Might give us some, but guys, if we lose this current level, we have this nice slope that is very likely going to send us down to that 67-cent range there on PYTH. Let's take a look at the oscillators and see what we're seeing on there. Right now, the oscillators sitting down near that bullish zone, not quite getting into it. It does look like we're getting some curvature on the ribbon here, so hopefully this is what holds there. But if we come down a little bit lower and start to get those oversold blocks, that would be where I would look for that entry to get in on PYTH. Again, that could be easily hit just by coming down to that dynamic reactor right there. RSI starting to get those small Heikenhashi candles on the RSI primed, and that is also an indication that we might be cooling off a little bit here, well below that 30% line right there. So that's what I have on PYTH. OC, let's kick it over to you. Let's see what altcoins you got for the alumni today.
Just 1 second. We got a super chat from Louis B. Asking a question: best buying level on Link, Cardano, or Cass?
Best buying levels on Link, ADA, or CAS. Okay, I will take CASPA. If you guys can divvy out ADA and Link, and we will take a look at that for Louis B. Appreciate that super chat, bro.
Well,
Perfect.
we got
I
our
have Link.
Cardonzo man in the house, so I mean,
Yep. Let's kick it over to OC, and he can start off with some ADA, looking for the best buy levels, and then we'll kick it over to
ADA,
Link,
perfect.
Link for TradeFly, and I'll do CASPA because I've got
Yep.
that long-term chart up. So.
All right, perfect. So let's get started with our analysis from yesterday. We have that burning wedge. Also, we have this little channel coming in here. It seems like we break that channel. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest, and off we go, breaking that burning wedge. Also, we're still below these areas on the oscillator. So let me clear everything up so we can see much better throughout all of these lines. And then also let me start throwing here a couple of my indicators. Let me get started with my trend assistance. We are pretty bearish. There we go. Much better. Now it wants to work. And then let's take a look at our support and resistances. As you can see right here, the best cluster that I'm seeing right now, it's right in this area because we have a ton of supports and here. So starting at 0.56 and ending at 0.53. All right. So that's going to be my very first area to look for. And also I want to buy when I have flip of the ribbon, and be careful because we never enter on the signals. We enter on a retest for shorts. Nonetheless, I will not be showing the bull market. So I'll be looking for 2 entries, one down here, and the next one will be all the way down to this other channel that I have here. Why? Because as you can see, we never broke below this area while we were bearish, and holding an area will be of critical support before we go even lower. Nonetheless, it is remains to be seen what Bitcoin is going to be doing, but so far, best entry areas for me at this zone or at this time will be at 55 and also at, let's just say, 44.
All right. That's what we got for ADA. Sweet. Let's kick it over to TradeFly, and let's take a look at Link, and then I'll do Casper, and we'll wrap up that super chat request.
cool. So let's look on the daily first. We'll start here. There's a ton of confluence where we're at time now. All right. So you have the dynamic reactor. You have this trend line, right? This was acting as support all the way up. You got the 100-day moving average, and that's actually the 100-day SMA. So it's a significant area. And then you have the chemtrail here, the dynamic support and resistance. All right. Also indicating an area of support, right? With volume. So that's important. You want to see some volume with it. It's quite blue, but you can see if you're looking at the other peaks, this is an area right now. And if you look to the left on the charts, you see resistance and you see support. So this right here is actually a very, very significant area for Chainlink. All right. If we break out of this, that's going to be bad news bears. All right. One, you're seeing the dynamic reactor starting to bend over, but this is an area right here that, like, personally, I probably, had I been tracking it or looking for it, would have looked for a little low percentage move off of this area just based on this. Look, this is actually showing you a reversal on top of it. and then we got that wick down. So, I mean, the overall market is going to influence Chainlink, unfortunately, but like, had everything been, status quo in the rest of the market, this definitely would be a very, very enticing area for me to look at. Let's go ahead and turn this off, though. All right, cool. I want to clean it up just a little bit because we want to look at some areas that I had identified previously. And it's right here, right? So Piper talked about this area quite a bit. Chainlink is one of those things that likes to kind of get stuck in a range and stay there for quite a while. So look at this. I mean, it's just underneath of the dynamic reactor, and it's just underneath of this. But that 15.5 area, it was really acting mostly as resistance. But I would say your bigger target area. Look at this, the 200-day SMA, $13, $14. All right, $14. Look at this. It was support for a significant amount of time, November, December, all the way through January. All right, that area was support. So if you're looking to get into something that you missed the mark on, then $14, set an alert. That's what I would do, especially in conjunction with a 200 SMA. Again, not saying that's where it's going to go, but long term, if you're trying to build your bag or you're trying to DCA in at lower cost, that's definitely an area that I would be looking for. Set an alert. Let's go back on the charts just to like get confirmation of why I identified that area. And yeah, there it is, man. So clear as day, you'll see resistance, you see support, So that, and you got a retest with a breakdown. That's it for me, man. You get that retest with a breakdown, that lets me know significant area. And then of course it was support all the way through here for, like I said, multiple months. So set an alert here, $14. That would be what I would do. And then right now, if the market doesn't continue to move down, we're at an area of support. So short-term game, I mean, it's risky, but it's also, showing you that there's potential here that we can maintain this trajectory up and right.
Awesome.
That's what I got.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, appreciate that, man. OC, you want to go ahead and take care of Chainlink, and then we'll do Caspa, and then we had a request for XRP, Algorand, and Engine. So
that was Chainlink.
Oh, that was Chainlink. Sorry, OC.
Yeah.
You're gonna take. You already took it. It's me, Caspa. I'm up.
Yeah, it's you,
Sorry,
man. You're up.
I'm looking at
Are
the
you
chat more now,
confused?
so I'm lost in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm confused. I am confused. It happens.
It's lost in the
Too much
waves.
rum yesterday on the island. Let's take a look at Caspa. Let's jump over here and take a look, guys. Let's look here and see what we got. By the way, we do need Algo, XRP, and Engine, though. So why don't you guys grab one of those? I'll grab whatever's left. Looking at Caspa here, we are currently sitting on the daily dynamic reactor. This is a critical level for us to hold. Looking here at the 12-hour predictive ranges, that's these little horizontal dashes that are running across here, that we are also sitting on that lower support band of the predictive ranges. We have lost that phase 618. There's that little red block that I had colored in there for a T box and said this is a good resistance zone. We need to watch and make sure we hold it. Our support, and it is now resistance. So what I'm watching for now for a buy-in here, looking at the daily, I would, not financial advice, let me clarify that. Even on the island of Virgin Islands, I cannot give financial advice. I would be looking at DCA and at current level on the dynamic reactor, and then I would have another DCA entry at phase 5, 618 that comes in. Again, hey, we're back. That's 11.2 cents. If you guys know, then you know. Way back in the day, 11.2 was the level I called for. This might be the cheapest you can get this in a long time, and it went up from there. It looks like we're back to that 11.2 cent range here. That is going to be your phase 5 golden pocket. If we do not hold that, because if you're talking about buying, you're talking about DCAing. These are all great DCA levels that I'm giving. However, if we turn off all the stuff that we're seeing here, let's turn off the dynamic reactor and all of my fancy stuff here, and I want to come over here and turn off these fib extensions. There we go. We have a fixed range volume profile in here. We have lost the point of control. Let me know in the chat if you guys know what typically happens when we lose the point of control on a fixed range volume profile. You guys, I'll give you a second to get those answers in, and then I'm going to go ahead and tell you. You head to the value area low, which is coming in at about 9.8 cents. We'll call it 10 cents in that ballpark there. That is this previous support line down here that gave us all that love. Now let's go back over, turn on that fib, trend-based fib extension here. Yep, we got one about 9.5 cents sitting right there also. That would be the ballpark that I would look for your heaviest buy-in. If I were to buy this, I'd be looking to buy right there between 9.5 to 10 cents with the greatest majority of the buy-in power. Previous support range down there, and if we do break that 11.2, very likely head down to that very area low and that phase 4 golden pocket. That's what I have for Caspa. Let's go ahead and kick it over to OC, what he's got, and then we'll come back around. TradeFly, what are you going to be checking out?
I got XRP.
You got XRP. All right. Then I know what I have.
Yep.
I got Algo, I guess. Go ahead, OC.
Perfect. So I was looking at Ethereum, basically looking at the 4-hour dynamic reactor. We broke it. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest. So we can go check it out right here on the dynamic reactor. Let's just wait for it to load. And we beautifully break it, retest, and off we go. We're going to head to our alerting here with the previous week and also with the previous support areas right down here. As you can see, we are almost there by touching my alert. And also we have our first take profits right here. So we can also go to daily and look at it for some support and resistances. At this point, we have our prime trend assistance. We are acting as support at that point. So everything is looking a little bit nicer. And also we have, and let me start building on my spaghetti here. We have another support right there. Let me turn on something else, my VPVR. And as always, doesn't want to work. So let's just wait for a little second. In the meantime, there we go. It look like it wants to do something. And then we have my predictive ranges, purple line in here, and then also have a gray line and the POC all the way there. And I know I'm above the price because I will be looking for a possible very ugly head and shoulders formation in this area if I bounce from here and start doing that rounded area or the rounded shape or a little bit of a ranging zone somewhere between the 3,400 and the 3,000. So yeah, that is some of the entries that I'm looking for. Ethereum getting ready to open up one of my positions. This is not financial advice, and I'll be looking forward for a flip of the ribbon, an early flip of the ribbon at the bottom of the channel. So that's what I'm looking for, this area of entry right around 3,039, 3,040. So yeah, that's what I got on Ethereum.
Awesome. TradeFly, go ahead and take XRP, and then I want to wrap it out with Engine. So,
right on. I'll keep it relatively quick on XRP, right? We've been following this trend line. It's a level of support that we've been following, since June, August. I mean, it's been a significant amount of time. I know a lot of people are upset with XRP. Well, why isn't it moving like everything else? Dude, this is a bullish trend that it's been in for months. So I wouldn't be that upset. It's a slow, steady rise, and that's actually not a bad thing. Are you going to make those quick gains? No. But is it doing what you want it to do? Yes. All right, so you have an ascending level of support, and what is it doing? It's really providing that pressure for continuation to the upside. So that's good news, and we're still in there. All right, so you have a couple intermediate stops. So we'll look at those. You got the point of control here. Piper just talked about that a little bit, and then you have the volume area low. Well, what does that coincide with? This level of support. So as you can see, I did some previous TA on this, and this is an obvious area of resistance. So your high side resistance is at 73 cents. But what we're looking for, even though we have a lot of confluence here right now, so intermediate trade, like something short, intraday, scalp trades, you're at an area of support right now. There's a lot of confluence here with all the moving averages, the dynamic reactor, a level of support. It's all right here for you. I mean, it's short to, what did we just look at? What did I just look at? Come on, guys, help me out here on that one. Anyways, what did we just look at? What did we just talk about? Chainlink. All right, just like Chainlink, it's near the dynamic reactor and levels of support right now. So what am I anticipating, though? If I'm zooming out and looking at this, then I'm going to look at this level of support. And, I mean, the trend is clearly coming back down. And I would expect right now that it's going to, at some point, come back down and test this area, this trend line, for movement back up and right. That's what I would be looking for. Again, intraday stuff, we're at an area of support, significant area. Like, there's all kinds of confluence right here, time now. Let me go ahead and make that a little bit bigger for you. So there you go. Now you can actually see it. All right. So look at that. You see all of it just right here in this area. And you can see that wick right there is showing you that it does want to act as support. Let's do just a little bit of measure where it went. So that's a 4% move. So remember, what I like to look for is 2 to 3%. I use a little bit of leverage, and then I'm out, right? I find these little areas where you see confluence. But overall, I still think this is kind of the pattern that we're going to see. So we already marked this. We already said, hey, yep, there's going to be resistance here. That's been the high side. And so, again, you got that kind of ascending level of support. So we're just kind of pogoing back and forth. Don't be surprised if we get stuck in this area, though, right here, this range. So somewhere between 64 cents and about 56 cents. I mean, this could be, a scalper's dream, because you could just find some action going back and forth in this area before ultimately this level of support kind of catches up. And then we see that movement up and right. So there's a few areas for you to look at. High side, 73, this range between 64 and 59 is an area of interest, or correction, 59, 56. And then this trend line, you want to keep an eye on that one, because, again, it's continuing up and right. That's providing you the pressure for that continuation movement.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and jump over to my chart before we talk this out. I'm going to knock out real fast on engine by request here. Let me get this lined up here, because it's not exactly on the point it needs to be at. There we go, right there. All right, guys, so here's what I'm seeing on engine. We do have a pullback continuing pretty hard here. Looking at a 4-hour chart right now, we can see our prime score is sitting at a 0. Consolidation is sitting at a 4. This is the unicorn we talk about. You hardly ever see zeros. We've got definitely a 0 going right now. To the downside, we're moving. We did get rejection on the 50% fib line right there. We lost our dynamic reactor. Had a little fight with it here, trying to keep a hold of it. Couldn't hold that 382. Couldn't hold that dynamic reactor. Downside, we move. And we are now heading towards the golden pocket, sitting currently at about 41.9 cents. Bottom side of that golden pocket, sitting at about 40 cents. One thing that I am going to be watching for here on this, if we do make it down to that golden pocket, we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what we have for fixed range volume profile here. Let's go over here, grab that tool. We're going to measure here from the bottom to where we currently are. Let's see how we're sitting here on our levels. We do have a nice level coming in right here around this 50% mark. That is going to be this volume node right here. But we have a really big volume node right now. So this current volume node that we're sitting on, that is where we are rejecting on this 4-hour. What we're looking at down here for our support range that I just called between 40 to 42 cents, going to be this nice big cluster of volume right here. So looking at that, that would be where I would watch for on engine for an entry. If I were going to be getting into this, not financial advice, but that's what I would do. Let's take a look at the oscillators. Oscillator giving us a bottom signal here that printed, and obviously we did come back down below that. So I would be watching for the next indicator I'd be watching for on the oscillator would be the oversold blocks. That would give us a nice pullback into this bullish zone. Also give us a beautiful reset here on the RSI primed for movement. We are really cooled off on the RSI primed. I'd like to see a little more cool off on this oscillator pro, and that would be in that range again, 40 to 42 cents on the golden pocket. Give us a nice bounce back up from that range. So let's go ahead and kick it back to the trio cam. Let's talk this out. TradeFly, OC, pullback. My sentiment, I think that we're going to have a little bit more of a pullback happen. Tomorrow, FOMC news is going to come out. We're going to get this data from Jerome Powell. He's going to talk, probably shake the markets. Tomorrow's going to be very volatile, in my opinion. But I think that we're going to pull back to some of these solid levels we talked about on the show today. What are your guys' thoughts on that? What do you got for the people? TradeFly, go for it.
Yeah, man. So a couple things for me. I don't know if we mentioned it. You might have said it as we were kind of rolling through things. But to see a dip before the FOMC, like, this is actually pretty normal. We've seen this a few times. So understand that people start getting a little bit nervous. I won't even say nervous. They just kind of pull out of the market to be like, hey, let's just sit back. Smart man says, let's just wait and see what happens. If he says something bullish, we're in. If he says something bearish, then, hey, we'll stay out, or maybe we'll even short. So don't be scared by that, but be smart. The other thing is we're pulling back, and I'm seeing this on a lot of altcoins, and I want to mention this because I think some of us missed the boat a little bit. We're pulling back to what? The 618, the 615, the golden pocket on a lot of the altcoins. We just saw this about a month ago, 2 months ago, where everything pulled back, and we talked about it multiple times on, it's countless altcoins. And we're like, it's in the golden pocket. that's the area for us. All right. For people that love the fib retracement or the Fibonacci's, like that is the area that we should all be getting excited. All right. So here's your opportunity. If you're DCAing and you're just DCAing in every golden pocket, congratulations, because you're probably slaying it right now. So once we get to that area, then we start looking at our oscillators for confirmation that, hey, we could get a bounce, and all we're doing is setting higher lows. That's it. And so don't be scared out right now is what I'll say. And we're almost to the golden pocket. So
absolutely. OC, what you got for the people, brother?
Basically, I'm pretty happy that we're retracing. Remember that I've been preaching for the pre-halving event retracement. We finally got it. That's party time for me. My orders have been filling up. Basically, I'm getting back between my 70%. I'm back at 40%. Still a little bit more run to go to spend that money, baby, on some altcoins, and then just be happy on the bounce up after halving. So everything's just playing out nice and smooth. Guys, I don't want to take too much of your time. Let's throw it back to Piper. And guys, thank you for smash that like button.
Appreciate it, OC. Yeah, let's get back out here. Guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. Remember, retracements, these are healthy, right? As long as we hold some of those levels that we talked about today, I think everything's going to be fine. Just, keep your eye on the charts and stay right here on Piper Academy. We'll be bringing you guys this information every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The news, the charts and the markets, everything you need to have knowledge, guys. If you guys are interested in any of the indicators that we use today on the show, take a look down below in the description. You guys can get 45% off your first monthly or quarterly on Chart Prime. So the best indicator service in the market, and we use it here every day because it's the best. So, guys, we'll check you out tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. right back here on Piper Academy. Till then, trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude!